All right, who we got today?
We got Miguel Jackson, defensive lineman from Richland High School.
I know a lot about Miguel. Miguel been in the program since 7th grade. I remember when he thought he was a linebacker. You know what I mean? Working on his footwork explosion. And next thing you know, he grew a little bit bigger. Now he one of the top D linemen in the area. We worked him out personally. So what you think?
I like Miguel a lot. You can tell he put in a lot of work. Especially with you, because you see it in his explosion.
Right.
He's good off the ball. He's quick, but then he's like surprisingly powerful too. And he's a nice kid, but he got a mean side to him.
Right. Yeah, and when AD started coming around me, they kind of like that 6'1"ish, 6'2", 255, 260, by their junior year. Because I remember when Aaron first got on the scene his sophomore year, I think he was like 5'11", 225, 230. Yeah. And there's some similarities. We ain't saying he's Aaron, but there's some similarities you see in the footwork when you look at certain things, him picking up a fumble with Aaron for an 80-yard touchdown. And when you look at his huddle, he picks up a fumble 60 yards.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at Miguel, and you look at Aaron, you go back and look at the old pictures. They got very similar body types,
right?
And really, it's just about his development physically and like what he can turn into.
Right.
Just as a football player, right now today, I think he may be a little more polished than what Aaron was, just because of the resources that he has at his disposal. Like
so Aaron, a little polished than AD at high school.
I mean, out of high school, AD was a freak athlete,
right?
And nobody knew he was a freak because he didn't look the part.
Right.
But guys who worked with him,
right.
You seen him train. Yeah. I was his workout partner when we trained with you.
Yeah. Hey, remember that first day?
Man, I'm 300 pounds. I'm a college offensive lineman, and we got the resistance bands on, and I can't even keep my feet up under me. It was like I ain't never seen nobody that explosive as AD was.
Right.
Now, Miguel ain't there, but like if there's a comparison, you gotta compare him to that, just because
under recruited.
Absolutely.
Yeah, under recruited. I can see that. Under recruited. Yeah, he's real under recruited. I mean, he had a lot of offers, but he didn't. I thought he would have that BCS, which may still come late with production.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think a lot of coaches, they still kind of go off the prototypical size.
Right.
With him appearing to be a smaller guy.
Yeah, he's playing DN. Yeah, he's playing DN.
He'll probably be a mismatch as an interior guy.
Yeah.
But he does have the speed to be a defensive end. But the area where he might lack is like having the height and the length. It's just what can he do with guys who are a little bit taller than him and got that reach on him.
All right, let's break down the film right now.
We see him right there on this play. He was unblocked.
Right.
And that's just like football IQ, being able to attack the mesh point on the replay. Right. And then that's just him being a gamer, to be able to take the football off the guy and turn around and go 60 yards. I think you made note of that earlier. That's an example of that. Him being polished, like I mentioned earlier. Pause that one. See, that's the 2-10 saying right there.
Right.
He comes off the football, looks like he feels like he's being read. He kind of stops, and then now you see him explode, turn into another gear, and attack the ball.
I seen the Icky shuffle.
You seen it?
I seen it. I seen it.
Yeah, that's just getting into the weight room right there. I mean, he's so quick off the football, because it's hard to believe a guy like him, by design you're going to leave him unblocked.
Right.
But when you see some of these pre-snap, you see his quickness off the ball, and being a good defensive lineman, you got to be quick off the ball. Your get off is great. That's just less that you got.
I seen it right there. Why's that? Yeah, that right there. You seen it. and to get his swing
Yeah,
move.
that was.
Yeah, he hit him with some. Looked like he was hooping.
He definitely hit him with like a crossover,
Yeah.
little icky shuffle,
Yeah.
and then just in case if that guy got his hands out there,
Right.
you seen him with the active hands, and then explode into the ball, get into the ball carrier right now. Outside rush, disengage. That's a good job keeping outside leverage. That's the football IQ in it. Squeezing down, collapsing, making a play. That was a good job right there, playing with leverage, getting low, dipping that shoulder. Like, yeah, guys with that type of athleticism, man, it's hard to run the ball away from them, especially if you try to read them. An athlete of that caliber, you can't allow that guy to just get a free run. He's going to make the play.
Right. Miguel off to the races. Showing a little speed. Got caught.
Ain't too many defensive linemen doing that.
Right. No force to fumble. Yeah, he make a lot of plays.
You don't really hear that too much about guys in the trenches.
Right.
You hear about, quarterbacks, receivers,
Right.
tailbacks, and skill guys.
Right.
Oh, he's a playmaker.
Right.
He has the ability to, make something happen if
Right.
it ain't there.
Right.
Well, this dude's making something happen. He's
Right.
getting down the line, he's
Right.
securing a tackle, but he's also got the ability to, to poke at the ball.
Right.
And get that ball loose, and that's big. It's hard to coach guys who are good at that.
Right.
That's why they nicknamed it the peanut punch after Charles Tillman.
Yeah.
Because ain't no corner, forcing fumbles like he was.
Right.
You don't see guys this productive and not being recruited by major big time schools.
Right.
Just off of that alone. But then when you actually watch him and see the type of athlete that he is,
Right.
on top of how good of a football player he is, how good his IQ, we talk about his playmaking ability. How many guys do you call playmakers as a defensive lineman,
Right.
especially at the high school level? So the ability to get to the football, create turnovers, being a good athlete, and his overall production,
Right.
if guys like that, if you were to just put his numbers out, would be a 4-star prospect.
Right. I think what it come down to him is the measurements, the measurables. And that's what happened more or less Aaron when he was coming out of high school. What do you have? Akron, Toledo, and then the pick came late. I think that's what category he's falling into because of his measurables. You know what I mean? But we won't see. I mean, he have another big explosive year. I think somebody will come in late.
And it makes sense, but at the same time, you would think that I can say he's under recruited because the game is somewhat starting to change.
Right.
Because we talk about Aaron as a game changer, but somebody who may not get talked about as much, but kind of even paved the way a little bit for Aaron is a guy like Geno Atkins.
Right.
Geno Atkins was about
Geno might be a Hall of Famer though.
Or like Dwight Freeney.
Dwight Freeney, 6'1", 260. Yep.
I mean, but that's the thing about Miguel. A lot of those guys, they get those labels as pass rushers.
Right.
He does a good job playing against the run too.
Right.
His highlight tape ain't just him just getting sacks.
Right.
You see him actually playing a run, playing a read. And maybe it's a game plan thing. You don't see too many players where they're running the ball right at him.
Right.
And that's probably for a reason.
I mean, most of the kids that I talked to that played against him, they said he'd be destroying the O-line, destroying them. He's a problem.
Yeah, he got a different gear, and he takes it to guys.
Right.
And one thing a lot of people don't know, talking about how good of a kid he is overall.
Right.
He also plays offensive line for Richland because they asked him to. So this guy isn't coming off the field.
Right.
He's going up against, Western PA right now. We got a lot of highly recruited defensive linemen. He's playing against 3-4-star guys and blocking them offensively.
Right.
Then turning around, putting his hand in the ground defensively, getting after the quarterback and getting to the football. He's definitely like a an Iron Man. You don't see too many guys doing that.
Right.